Today we will take a look at the QPSMR companion input for Android software, which is ideal for collecting CAPI data using devices such as tablets and mobiles that run the Android operating system, version 6 or above. Using the full QPSMR companion software, we will update an existing questionnaire. We will include some ZZZ entries to automatically collect quality control information. We will add an introduction screen and some images. Set the FTP site details for the project from where the input files can be downloaded and also where the data collected will automatically be uploaded to. When the questionnaire is complete, we will create the input file needed for interviewing. We will discuss downloading the QPSMR companion input for Android software from our website onto the Android device. Next, we will enter some CAPI interviews on an Android tablet and upload the data. We will then switch back to the full QPSMR companion software to check the data collected and finally run some tables. Part 1. Finalising a CAPI questionnaire for Android interviewing. For this demonstration, we will use as a starting point a simple questionnaire about coffee, which has a variety of different question types and filters to control who sees which entries. Some of you may recognise this questionnaire from QPSMR Tutorial 2. To add the ZZZ entries that will automatically collect quality control information such as the date and time of interview, the duration, GPS coordinates, the interview outcome, and so on, we will copy and paste them from the QPSMR skeleton CAPI with GPS questionnaire file. We obtained this file from our website www.qpsmr.co.uk. Selecting Toolbox, QPSMR Downloads, locating the skeleton QDFs link and saving the file in our project folder. In this file, we need to select and copy all of the entries up to and including TTT Start Queue. Switch back to the coffee file, right-click on the first entry, Q1, and select Paste Before, so they are inserted before the first entry in our questionnaire. We then switch back to the skeleton, copy the remaining entries, and paste them at the end of the coffee file after the comments entry, and save. We will then close the skeleton QDF. Back in the coffee project, notice that one of the copied entries is ZZZ end. When collecting data with QPSMR, the ZZZ end entry automatically stores the outcome of the interview, and different end questions are then displayed accordingly. There is an ending for successful interviews, another if the respondent is ineligible for interview, they did not qualify to take part, and another if the interview was aborted. Note these end entries that we copied and pasted from the skeleton are all filtered from ZZZ end. Next, for our CAPI survey, we will add some images. We have previously created some PNG files using a desktop publishing program which show a coffee cup, our logo, and appropriate text. Note that other files such as JPEGs can be used to show images, and video and audio clips can also be included in your surveys if required. We will create a new entry where the introduction picture will be displayed, and we will also include similar images at the end of the survey depending on the ZZZ end outcome. To add the new introduction, we will select T Start Queue and use the toolbar icon to add a new question. We will name the question Intro, and for the entry type, select None, Text for Interviewer. And for the text, we will type Introduction. Next, we select the Settings tab, click Show Picture, and choose the intro pic, and open. A small version of the image is included on screen, and we close the new question. Now let's add images to the end question screens. Firstly, we double-click entry End was 1 and replace the text shown with Successful Interview, which we can cut and paste from the instructions box. Next, we open the Settings tab, click Show Picture, and choose the ZZZ End 1 file, and open. Using the Move to Next Entry arrow, we can then update End was 3, which is filtered from ZZZ End Response 3, Not Eligible. Clicking the Question tab, we can replace the current text by cutting and pasting from the instruction box. Then open the Settings tab, click Show Picture, and choose the ZZZ End 3 file, and open. We can then follow the same procedure to update entry End was 4, which will be shown if an interview is aborted. Then close and save. The final steps in setting up a CAPI survey for use on Android devices is to set the study name and the information for the FTP sites. Before starting this demonstration, we used our web hosting provider to create 2 FTP sites, where we set up one site from where the QPSMR IMP files for interviewing will be downloaded, and a second secure FTP site which will be used to automatically upload the data collected. For demonstration purposes, we also stored the information about the FTP sites in a Word document so we can easily copy and paste when required. To specify the study name, we open the Project Global Settings, and on the General tab, in the Study or Campaign Name box, let's type the study name Coffee. Next, we use the FTP tab to set the FTP site information. Firstly, we click the Use this FTP site for distributing input files only box, and copying and pasting from the Word document, we enter the URL, the username, and password for the FTP site where the QPSMR IMP file will be stored, ready to download for interviewing on the Android device. Next, we click the Use this FTP site for transferring collected data box and enter the URL, username, and password for the secure FTP site upload that we created earlier. This is the site where the CAPI data will automatically be uploaded to each time an input session is completed or when upload is requested if Wi-Fi is not available as the session ends. We then select OK and the program checks the distribution site and any input files stored, and we click OK. It then checks the data collecting site and any data files, and again we click OK. And then we save. Part 2. Generating the QPSMR IMP file for interviewing. As our questionnaire is now ready, the next step is to create the QPSMR IMP file needed for interviewing on an Android device. To do this, we select Answers, Make Input File, and choose the Immediate FTP Upload plus Android radio button, followed by CAPI as the type of input. Notice the study name, Coffee, is automatically shown. Here we could also set a range of serial numbers and input options, such as showing the list of entries on screen. But for this demonstration, we will simply select Save and name the input file Coffee. QPSMR will then output the file, and the program asks if we wish to upload the input file we have just saved. We select Yes, and at the File Output Finished confirmation screen, we select OK. The files will be saved to the FTP site, ready to download. Part 3. Preparing the Android device. Before using the input file, you first need to download the QPSMR Companion Input for Android software to your Android device from the Google Play Store. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will assume that you have done this. Next, under Apps, Settings, Apps, Companion Input, you need to check the following settings are allowed and set them on if necessary. Notifications, permissions, contacts and location, and return to the home page. Now you can run the software and set the FTP site details from where the input file will be downloaded. To do this, from the home page, tap the Apps icon, then tap Companion Input. To set the FTP site details, tap the Select FTP Account button, followed by Add FTP Account, and enter the URL, username, and password. Also enter a name to identify the FTP site in the Display Name field. Finally, tap Store Account, and the FTP site details will then be shown above. Use the back button to return to the QPSMR Input home page and download the input file by tapping Select FTP Account and the FTP display name, then tap Connect, followed by Download from FTP. Select the input file Coffee QPSMR IMP. A message will confirm when the file has been downloaded, and you are now ready to begin interviewing. Part 4. Interviewing. To begin interviewing, tap the Start Interview button and select the coffee input file. Then at the Press Start message, tap the Start button. We will work through the coffee survey. The first thing we see is the introduction image with the text explaining that we should tap responses or enter numbers and text as appropriate, followed by Q1. Let's assume our respondent does drink coffee at Q1, and then, as we have reached the end of the page, we use the Next button to move on. At question 2, let's enter 5 cups a day, followed by at home and at work. When out, our respondents drink cappuccino, latte or mocha, drinking cappuccino most often, and never drinking espresso or Turkish. The respondent would expect to pay £2.60 for a cappuccino. Moving on, at home they use Cream Companion and Smoother Silk, and they have seen the Cream Companion TV advert, which they thought was very funny. Our respondent is female, 30 to 50 years old, and her home postcode is OX10 9TA. As she does not want to make any further comments, we can simply select Next. As the interview was successfully completed, the appropriate image is shown, and again we select Next and a new record message appears. We will tap Yes and quickly enter some responses for a second successful interview. This time, the respondent only drinks coffee at home and they have not seen the TV advert. So some of the questions we completed in the first interview will be filtered past, as they are not relevant. When we reach the end, at the new record message, we will again tap Yes and look at an instance when the interview is not successful. For the third interview, we will assume that the respondent does not drink coffee. So when we select No, in response to question 1, do you ever drink coffee, we jump straight to the Ineligible for Interview end screen. At the new record message, we will select No to end the current interviewing session, and as Wi-Fi is available, the data will automatically be uploaded to the FTP site that we specified in the QDF project file. What we will do now is turn off the Wi-Fi connection and begin a second data collection session, where we will enter 2 further successful records. By turning off the Wi-Fi connection, we can emulate a scenario where Wi-Fi is not available, such as interviewing in a hall test where the connection is unstable. In this session, at question 1, the respondents will drink coffee because we want both of the interviews to be successful. However, for each interview we will skip past the postcode and comments using the Next button, as this will save a little data entry time for our demonstration. This time, when we end the session, by selecting No at the new record message, we are returned to the QPSMR input homepage. We can then reconnect to the Wi-Fi, then tap the Upload button and select the project. A message will confirm when the upload is complete. Part 5. Analysing the data collected. Using the full QPSMR companion software, we will now access, combine, check and analyse the data collected. To do this, we open the questionnaire file QDF and select Answers, download all data for the study, and a message will be displayed saying 5 records have been written to our project folder to a file called coffee_downloaded CSV. A report will automatically then open in your spreadsheet program. We can see 3 interviews from the first session and 2 from the second, giving a total of 5 interviews. When working with data, however obtained, it is good practice to always check it before running tables. To do this, we use the Check Data File toolbar icon and browse to locate and open the coffee_downloaded CSV file and check all options. For more information on the different checking options available from the data checkbox, please refer to the on-screen help in the software. Now we will quickly set up some tables to take a look at the data collected. We'll open a tables file which we will call coffee and begin by inserting a new table. As the columns, we will use question 3. Where do you normally drink coffee? So we drag Q3 from the list of entries to the column box. And then we select all other survey questions and drag them into the row box to create 13 tables. For the numeric entries, question 2 and question 5, we can choose to see stats only, which is the mean score and any other stats set, or we can also include all of the different values collected. Let's update the tables that use these entries, ticking off the stats only setting so that all values will be shown. Next, we will set some global information by clicking the globe toolbar icon. We will add the header Coffee CAPI survey, and as we wish only to include successful interviews, not others such as the ineligible record, we will filter the tables using the definition ZZN/1, and we will then tidy the footer text shown. We will check that our master data file coffee_downloaded CSV is shown, and if not, we'll add it. We will then close the global settings and run our tables. The tables are displayed in our spreadsheet program, showing the results from 4 successful interviews. If you remember, one interview was ineligible. The respondent did not drink coffee, so it has been filtered out. Once we have looked at the tables, we close the file. Next, we will assume that while we were running our tables, some more data has been uploaded from our Coffee CAPI survey. So, from the main project window, we can simply select Answers, Download New Data for Study. and select our master coffee_downloaded CSV data file and open. Any new data found will then automatically be added into our master data file. We can now see 25 records. The report shows 5 from the original sessions plus 20 new records. We will close the report and once again check the data to ensure all is well. It is, so we close and then open our tables and rerun them. We do not need to make any changes as the data file name is the same. It just contains more information. So now when we run and look at the tables, we can see the results from 22 successful interviews. 3 ineligible records have been excluded. When we have finished looking at the tables, we close. Back at the tables window, notice the ZZZ quality control entries are listed, and these could also be tabulated or data from them exported, so you can see information about the project itself. For example, you could use ZZZ SIT listing all rows to see the different input times. We hope you have found this demonstration useful. Look out for more QPSMR videos on our YouTube channel soon. Remember, always look for QPSMR Limited at the start of the video name to ensure you are watching an official demonstration. If you would like more details about the products and services available from QPSMR Limited, please visit our website www.qpsmr.co.uk.